You may have heard that there was a little back and forth between the presidential candidate Kirsten Gillibrand. She's the U.S. senator from the state of New York. She's running for president. She distinguished herself on the stage of the Democrat debate last week by essentially pretty much every question she got. The answer was she wants government-funded elections. She wants no more private money in elections. We'll have to go off on that on another day. That is a flat-out violation of the First Amendment. That I'd have to pay my taxes to go to the government to give her, someone I disagree pretty much everything she thinks. I have to pay for her speech. No, this is a non-starter. And honestly, she might have been the weakest person on the stage, but there was a fair amount of competition for that. Anyway, Kirsten Gillibrand made a statement. It's a very short segment here, but she made a statement saying she compared pro-lifers, people who stand up for life, with racists. Her statement was, she's talking about the some moral clarity is needed as a society, and we're allowed to say that the moral clarity exists, and therefore the other side's view is simply not acceptable. And this is, again, the intolerance of the American left, especially because when they say things like that, they're going to characterize what the two sides are. Whatever their side is the only right answer, and of course the way they characterize the other side, whatever the conservative view may be, is characterized in a way that is made to sound absurd. However, here's what she had to say. There is no moral equivalency when you come to racism. Okay, that's a true story. You know, there's no moral, not two sides of whether racism is a good thing. It's an evil, flat out evil, period, full stop. So she says there's no moral equivalency when you come to racism, and I do not believe there is a moral equivalency when it comes to changing laws that deny women reproductive freedom. So she's equating racism. There's no moral opposite that it would be ever correct to say to stand up for racism. She's saying the same thing is true on the pro-choice view. Once we have laws in place that say pro-choice, pro-abortion all the way up to birth, and as a matter of fact, even after birth, if you feel like it, which is her party's position, and she's saying she's equating that idea of racism has no two sides to it, that there are no two reasonable sides to the question of life, of pro-lifers. She's equating pro-lifers with racists. And so she got clobbered, as you might imagine. Star Parker weighed in. Many people weighed in. I didn't want to read the answers, but obviously, she got clobbered by the pro-life advocates, Alveda King, who is the niece of Martin Luther King, as well as Star Parker, both weighed in to say this is completely absurd, not a moral equivalent.